It is now midnight in the Caldwell house, but things do seem to be settling down, at least for you, Angelica Caldwell and Tyler Edgerton. Your father just went upstairs to make your bed, and as he did so, your mother, Angelica, kind of just excused herself for a moment. There was a moment of awkwardness as Genesis kind of just stuck around for a second more before she eventually stood, started to leave, and did say, "Trust me, sister. I know you think I'm crazy, but he is the only way we can be saved in this scenario. The pastor will know what to do. Trust me."
Don't bring him into this.
He'll know.
But
he'll know anyway.
You're not telling him. Mom and Dad said you're not telling him.
I won't. I swear I won't. But he'll know. God will tell him. I know he will.
Tyler, do you want me to walk you to the car?
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
You head out into the night, walking Tyler to his car. As you get to the car, what do? The pair of you.
I want to say I'm still holding her hand as we exit. The other one in my pocket, just kind of idly playing with my keys. And I know the question that I have to ask, and it's going to take an eternity to get the words right. I don't have that long. So as we get to the driver's side, and there's those few seconds of just, well, I know I need to get in the car, say something, and just before the moment starts to get awkward, I look directly in her eyes, and there's just like a sadness, a little bit of surprise, and I let out this huge sigh. Why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry. You know how my parents are. I've been struggling with this for so long.
I know, but Angelica, I'm not your parents.
I know, but I didn't want to destroy. I mean, you're gonna be a doctor, and I mean, there's time for this later, right? It doesn't.
It's not. I'll be a doctor. I'm not worried about me or my future or what people think. It's about us. And I mean, I'm not even gonna say I disagree with what you did. Being caught by surprise. We're close.
I'm sorry. I just got back, and Mom she thought I was high, and she pushed. You know how she gets. She pushed and pushed and pushed, and just, finally I cracked, and I just blurted it out, and she went ballistic. And I tried to stop her from calling you. I mean, it's not a big thing.
No, it's not. I'm glad I was here. I just wish I could have been a little more prepared, is all.
I should have said something. Sorry. Emma kind of talked me into it. Sorta.
Well, it's not the first time that Emma's talked you into a bad decision, huh? And I'm trying to make light because she's the one who introduced us, and I want to take just a little bit of, maybe if I can get you to crack a smile, it'll take some of the edge off the conversation.
Yeah, I guess not, but I should have talked to you about it before I did anything. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I to be honest, I've heard that sometimes it doesn't even work properly.
I guess if your mom has her way and you go to the hospital, we'll find out soon enough.
I'm so sorry. It's just we haven't been together that long, and you got your studies and I have mine, and well, they have church, and I didn't want to. I mean, I think we have a good thing here, and I didn't want to ruin it by forcing you into a situation where you had to make a choice. I mean,
I'll take my other hand out of my pocket and just place my hands on your hips. I'm not mad, Angelica. You're gonna have to. You've got your hands full defending yourself in front of your sister, and it's important for me to know that you don't have to explain yourself to me. We're in this together, and do I wish I would have known? Yes, but I'm not mad. I'm here for you, and I want to be together through this, and that's it.
That makes me happy to hear. I've been so worried that you would, turn your back on me since I didn't talk to you about it. But, Tyler, I love you, and I want to be with you. This really doesn't change anything that much, I hope.
No, and you're the greatest thing that's happened to me in years. It's gonna take a little more than this for me to turn tail. Are you sure about tomorrow?
About the church?
No, your sister, the church, the pastor, Look, I don't... Let me put it this way. If it comes down to your sister being really emphatic about you doing something with the church, that, to me, is evidence on its face that it's a bad idea.
I think probably to get them off our backs and probably to, make a little good in their eyes, I think. We have to endure. They stopped forcing me to go to church when a few years ago when they realized I was basically just daydreaming anyways. But if it makes them happy, I guess we'll suffer through it.
I just don't want to... It's your sister. What if she tries to have you hauled up in front like some kind of Jezebel? Or what if she tells the pastor? What? Look, this is going to be tough enough with your family. Do we need to drag all of that into it? I mean, I said what I said to your mom and your dad because I thought it would help the moment, but
Yeah, well, maybe I can fake feeling ill or something. Having to lie down or something. I don't know. It's just, I know she's intense, but she does mean well, even if she has a very, very annoying way to show it. She loves me. I don't doubt that.
all right, I'm worried, but I'm not going to let you go alone.
Thanks. It means the world to me.
I guess it goes without saying that we're not going to stay together tonight.
No, not tonight, I think. I don't think I could or should.
No, I think wouldn't be the first time that wanting to be that close to you has gotten us to in a little trouble. But this time, I will try my best. I will manage to restrain myself from you.
Well, there's a tomorrow night. Or even there's an after church.
You should not say that so loud in front of a house so watched by God, young lady.
Well, if he watches the house, then he won't be watching the car.
I am just beaming, like lips stretched up in the widest smile, and I'm going to lean forward and just kiss you on the forehead and just say, I love you.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay? We'll get through it together.
Yeah, just one that you said... Emma was the one who pointed you to the person?
Yeah, she kinda... She knew someone, and she had this, number you were supposed to text, and... Well, she's my best friend. I kinda talked to her about everything. Well, not everything, but almost.
We can trust Emma. I was just, had it been anybody else, God only knows, but Emma, yeah. Okay, if we stay out here any longer, your sister's gonna call the chastity police, so,
Oh, yes. Pastor Ward will come and save our souls.
He's got his work cut out for him.
He does.
All right. Look, do you want me to meet you here tomorrow? I don't want to meet you at the church. I think I should come and drive together as a family, and I'll do an impression of your dad.
Yeah, please do. And please drive carefully now. And try not to think too much about this. Don't let it keep you up.
Angelica, even on the calmest of days, you're all I can think about.
Now go before I say or do something sinful.
Yes, ma'am. And I will lean forward and just real cute, boot my nose against yours before finally letting go and sliding into the car.
And so, Tyler, you get in the car and drive away. For a moment, Angelica, you're outside. It's so hot, but for a moment there's at least some breeze outside. It is, after all, now midnight, so at least it's not so bad. And as you're there, you notice something. As you watch Tyler drive away, you look down the street. You live in a suburban area. Most people at this time of the night are in their homes or asleep. But you notice there is one person who is not. There's someone looking at your house. You kind of just notice it. They're not right next to your house, but they're very close. When you focus on them, they're a man with a big, thick, sort of auburn beard, scraggly hair, wearing a janitorial uniform. You think there's something written on the janitorial uniform, but you can't quite see it in the dark, and you just realise that they've been staring directly at your house. What do?
I sink back a little into the shadow on the porch and see if he does anything. Try to figure out if he's really watching our house or if he's doing something else.
Are you trying to do this in a way that doesn't draw any attention?
Yeah, I'm trying to basically make it look like I'm going back in, but I don't really enter the house. Just hang back a bit on the porch.
Certainly. Please roll coolness, then. This is acting under pressure.
19.
It's odd how well you do this, but you know your own home, so maybe it's quite easy just to slip into a spot you know is easy to hide in. And you do. And he doesn't notice you, and you just wait a few seconds, and he doesn't do anything. He's just staring at your house. But he's definitely staring at your house very intently, with a very strange expression. He looks almost lost.
I pull up my sketchbook, and I start sketching him.
You do so. Doesn't take you long. You are quite good at sketching. Maybe you've taken a few lessons from your dad, who knows? And you take a sketch of the likeness of this man, who, as you're doing the sketch, eventually does suddenly look around himself, not at you, but just the area in general, and start hurriedly walking away.
As soon as he leaves, I'll turn around and walk into the house again, just standing inside of the door, listening for sounds around the house. Has everyone else seemed to settled? Have they gone back to bed?
It does seem as if that's happening. And as you're listening, you do finally notice that your phone has been buzzing a little in your pocket.
I look at it. Is it ringing or was it a text message?
It's the third text message. You've received quite a few over the last hour or two. You haven't noticed because, fair enough, you've had quite a lot on your plate. But if you flip open your phone, you will see they are all from your friend Emma Creed.
I'll text her back and ask her what she wants.
She wants to know if you're okay. That's the gist of the text.
Yeah, a bit tired. Mom's passed out. I just talk tomorrow, and then I kind of turn off the sound on my phone. And
yes, she sent you a text immediately just before you close the phone saying, "Sure thing, sleep well, hun. So sorry. I messed up. My bad."
Sorry for what? Question mark?
Nothing. Should have found someone else. Weirdo. You are okay, right? Question mark.
I was, but not sure now. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. ...
No, it's fine. ... Just let me know if you're not okay.
What the F happened?
Nothing really. ... They were just weird. ... I don't really know. Talk to you later.
Yeah, later.
What do you do?
I think I paused like halfway up the stairs, and I continue up, and I enter my room. I can't be bothered with anyone at the moment, so I'm actually locking the doors after me. I do that sometimes, not all the time, but Genesis has a tendency to well, she has no boundaries, basically, and she thinks that applies to everyone. So I like to keep her out of my room and out of my business.
Indeed. And you will eventually go to bed, but again, you are a little troubled, because what does Emma mean? Again, you do remember she got you out of there very quickly, but it's hard to remember. You think you were still under the anesthetic, so it was all a bit blurry, really, getting in the car and then being driven home. Tyler, you're driving back home. What's going through your mind as you're pulling up to your nice apartment that Mum and Dad have, of course, got you? You don't need to worry about paying any rent.
I can't even make it inside. Only a few moments after I pulled out of the driveway, maybe turning the corner just to make absolutely sure I was out of Angelica's sight. Just all the frustration that had been bottling up inside of me comes out, and I'm just like punching the steering wheel, screaming expletives, because this is not what was supposed to happen. And half of it is my own frustration, and half of it is anxiety, because I know there's someone who's going to be very unhappy. Now I know why he's unhappy, and it gets really, really bad when he's unhappy, and I'm trying to process all of those emotions all at once, and I'm not doing a very good job of it.
No, you're not. In fact, due to this stress, could you please roll your disadvantage? We don't need to say what it is, but I will say it's just a straight roll.
That is a 10.
It says you're there in the car and you're hitting your hand on the steering wheel and you just think he won't be happy. That you feel it again. That itch. Except it's not an itch. It's a hand grasping you from behind and pulling you into your seat as a voice whispers loudly in your ear. You fucked up, kid. You fucked up. You fucked up, kid!
I know. I know, look, if I had any control over it, you know I would have. You know, I've never let you down before. You know, God, I'm trying to figure this out. I just need the time to figure this out.
You hear a wail in your ear, a discordant, loud noise suddenly as he just screams at you. But this is weird. Why is he doing this? He didn't do this before. You could hold a conversation with him, but now he just screams in your ear. What do you do?
Can I roll to keep it together and see if I can at least temper this a little bit?
You certainly can.
21.
This isn't pleasant for you, Tyler, but you are able to compartmentalize, so to speak. How do you do that?
My relationship with this man has always been defined by a certain amount of logic. That's what caused us to meet and kind of come together. And then, yeah, the logic kind of went away as things got weird afterwards, but he's always been rational. And I just start reciting to myself in my own head the plan, because I know he's listening. He's always listening. And I'm saying, first things first, I'm going to get a hold of Emma, or I'm going to get the number. Maybe I can get it out of Angelica's phone at church. I'm going to find out who did this. And then I can find that person. Once that'll be information that can help us, that might lead us somewhere. And then tomorrow there's the church. Look, we've wanted to be getting to that church forever. It's a setback, yeah, but like there's still progress being made here. Like we're actually, I mean, in a weird way, we're closer to some of our goals than we used to be. All right, and I know you're impatient, but I need you to trust me. And like, look, see, I'm doing the things, okay?
Hand squeezes tight on your shoulder, the hand that of course, isn't really there. If anyone was watching you in the car right now, they would see a man talking to himself. But it doesn't matter that you can't see the hand, you can feel the hand. It digs into your shoulder as this man, a man you know, at least in life you knew him, says, "Fuck that! Kill him tomorrow! Kill them tomorrow! Kill them tomorrow! Kill them all! Kill them! Kill them! They killed me! Kill them!"
My body is reacting not only to the wincing pain in my shoulders. I feel that it's too strong for human muscles. I'm just shrinking down into the seat and just repeating now almost like a child. Like, I can't. They'll know. We have to wait. And just hands squeezing together, white-knuckled, as I just try to force it all away and keep myself.
Indeed. And it starts to fade. The voice becomes quieter. It begins to weep. Weep almost like a baby? Like a baby weeping, and then it's gone, and you're yourself again. And again, all of this is very strange, Tyler, and I don't mean the spirit interacting with you, because it's been interacting with you for some time, but interacting with you like this, especially after you got rid of it! He was gone! He's been gone for almost 2 months!
I did
What happened?
everything right. I don't... There are only 2 people who know the answer to this. The second one I might see tomorrow, but still in the car. I don't even think I ever managed to turn it off. I'm going to reach forward to the console, hands-free, driving, safety, all that, and just push the button to have it send a text to Emma. And then the console chimes to do it by voice, and I just say, "Hey, you still up?" And then send it.
Bit of a delay. Yeah, Tyler. What's up? It's late.
I just got the news.
Oh. Sorry. She didn't want to tell you. Frankly, I agreed. It wasn't your business. No offense.
No, I get that. Not mad.
Good. She okay?
I think so. As good as someone can be, given the situation, her family.
Yeah, it sucks. But as long as she's okay, it should all be fine. I just wish I'd chosen someone else.
What do you mean?
Person we went to. Friends said legit. Well, as legit as you can be right now. But they were weird. I don't know. I just got her out of there. It was weird.
Was it someone I know? My parents?
No, of course not. Unless... ... something you're not telling me. ... How many illegal folks do you know these days who do that sort of thing? ...
I mean, the answer that's too long for text is, if they're doing illegal shit, they probably won't tell me, but I'll say, who knows? Not like they're advertising.
Exactly. I only got a text. Well, a number, I mean. Didn't do phone calls, only text.
Did you get a name?
No. Why are you asking? It doesn't matter.
Angelica seemed really shaken up, and I'm just trying to get the information that I need to be as good to her as I can.
I don't know why that would help. I don't want to get in any trouble. I don't want to get them in trouble, even if they're weird, because then I'll get in trouble. You get it?
No, I get it. And, Emma, come on. I'm not gonna... Why would I turn either of you two in?
It's late. Maybe talk about this later.
Alright. Look, that aside, thanks for being there for Angelica.
It's okay. Like I said, I got her out of there before. I don't think anything weird happened because I was there. Just... something was off. ... Weird candles. ... Like she was doing something really weird. I just didn't like it. I got her out of there.
If I recall correctly, Emma and I know each other because of the occulty stuff, and that's how she introduced me to Angelica, right?
Yes, she is into that current alternative scene in Phoenix. That is how you know her. Of course, you don't think she actually knows some of the stuff you know by a long shot, but she dabbles.
So in that case, I'll ask, weird question mark or weird?
Weird. Didn't like it. Didn't see the point. I think she'd finished the deed anyway. I just heard some stuff, went to peek, saw stuff I didn't like, wanted to get Angelica out of there. She tried to stop me, and you realise you just said she tried to stop her. But it was all fine, I just got her out of there. She didn't chase after us or anything. Yeah. ...
Look, if it's weird, you've got... This could be really bad for Angelica. You sure you can't tell me? Question mark.
If Angelica tells you she's not okay, she should go to a hospital, or go to a doctor. That should be fine, but again, I don't see why we need to bring anything else up. It's done.
I don't think a doctor is going to know to look for the right signs, Emma.
What are you talking about? Question mark. You realise at that point, again, she dabbles, but does she really know?
Nothing, sorry. Brain getting ahead of myself. Just need to sleep.
As you finish the text, but you are very aware, perhaps accidentally, she said a she.
Yeah. I mean, that narrows it down to 50% of the human population, but I am not the rationalist. It turns out that reason is not my strong suit. And given the encounter of the last little while, my brain is leaping to one she in particular, but it could not be that person. Then again, the inexplicable is kind of my wheelhouse these days, so you never know.
Indeed. It couldn't be them, could it? If it was them... You don't want to get too confident here, but if it was them, they might be able to help you. You wanted their help this whole time, but you thought they were dead.
That doesn't make any sense. If it is who I'm thinking of, then the man, like, why would she fuck up the ritual? Unless she didn't know, but the whole thing is that they know. That's why I'm in this mess, is because they know.
That is definitely a question that I don't think you can answer right now. But perhaps it's time for you to get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to what my brain's gonna do once I close my eyes, but maybe I can get Angelica to tell me tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
The night passes. No one really gets any good sleep. Many things are on people's minds, and it is so goddamn hot. But in the morning, everyone is up. Breakfast has been made by Jessica. No one's really talking about what happened last night, but... Well, Genesis is already ready for church. What are you doing in the morning, George?
I've headed out for my morning run. I find that helps me, get the day started and puts me on an even keel. It makes me feel good, like I'm in control. So, I've just gotten back from that. I'm a bit sweaty. Guess I'll hit the shower before we get going for the day.
It says you're in the bathroom that Jessica just pokes her head in. She just quietly says as you're showering, George, I don't know about today. Maybe... Do we all need to go to church today? I know it's important to you, and I get it is important, but I don't know, I'm not really feeling it.
If it's too much for you, it's... it's okay. We don't have to go. I mean, I know Angelica probably doesn't want to go. Genesis wants to go, obviously. We don't have to. I mean, I think it might be nice. It might help, prevent rumors or something like that, showing that everything's normal. But But if you don't want to, I'm fine with that.
Well, no, I think you're right. You're right. We should go, for Genesis at least, and just to have some sort of family cohesion for the moment. Maybe afterwards, though, we can discuss making Angelica an appointment. I know she's adamant she's fine, but I just at this stage, we can just take her for a checkup. That's not suspicious, right?
No, of course not. That would be perfectly normal. Yeah, we should do that. We need to make sure that she's all right, after all. That's the most important thing.
She's not happy with me, is she?
Well, you did, you're a cop. You put quite a lot of pressure on her yesterday. But look, I'm not saying that was wrong. This is serious stuff. And she needs to understand that this will have consequences on her for the rest of her life, and perhaps on ours as well. So I think it's good that she got the message. We can't change the past now, but at least maybe we can prevent it from happening again, or something even worse happening.
I just wanted to get checked, is all, because, again, you know what I've been doing. I know it's not a big case. I don't do big cases anymore, of course. And hell, a couple more years and I can finally hang up the badge and just spend the rest of my life with you and be safe. But this thing, it's almost personal. I've spoken to some of those girls. It's not this person that they're not. That they think this person's looking after them, but they're not. They're not. You don't just leave girls to die.
No, you don't. That's evil. That's the work of the devil, for sure. It needs to be stopped. I agree with you on that. Definitely.
Exactly. It's got nothing to do with the country and all the madness that's going on right now. This is something I know is right, I think. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I'll go get ready. Sorry, honey. I'll let you shower.
Don't worry about it. And I go back to showering, and I think about the situation. It's all of it is very concerning. There's a risk that things will fall apart, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it back together. But maybe if we do things properly today, we go to church together, we'll put everything back together, and we'll do what we used to do. When the kids were small, we'll go eat something, and just talk, and we'll pretend like nothing really happened. Maybe we can just forget all this. Maybe there's still a chance we can do that. Yeah, that's what I think to myself as I finish showering and I begin getting ready, putting on my nice clothes for church.
Well, everyone's almost ready to go. Your parents are in the car. Genesis is also in the car. Just waiting on you. Angelica, what are you doing this morning? How are you feeling?
Have I been able to sleep anything?
A little bit, but again, it was very troubled, and you kept having weird dreams. You kept thinking about some sort of large, empty space. You think when you and Tyler hooked up, you remember he took you to a cool place? You think it was a club? You can't really remember, actually. The dreams are a bit like that, only it's obviously not a club in your dreams, because in your dreams it's some sort of graveyard? Like a really big graveyard? You kept dreaming about being in a really big graveyard. It was kind of unsettling, but you did get some sleep eventually, yes.
I think I'm already dressed and like just sitting on my bed, trying to gather some strength to take me through this ordeal. Maybe my mom has calmed down by now and things will sort of go back to normal. I mean, I am 22. It's not like I'm a kid anymore. If I want to have sex with someone and have a kid, I'm fully entitled to do that. Or an abortion. So, they don't have the right to get this angry with me.
They don't. Especially considering that at this point in time, it's not a crime. Here. Elsewhere. It's a different story, unfortunately.
So I'll just gather myself and I'll, of course, pick up my sketchbook. And I remember the sketch from yesterday, last night. And I kind of flipped to it.
You do. There he is. A sort of middle-aged man, big beard. Nothing about him looks unusual or terrifying. Just looks like a normal man. Although, again, it's odd you've managed to capture that look he had, and it was just this sort of lost look, as if he didn't quite know where he was.
And I'm sure I've never seen him before.
You don't think you have. But there's something familiar about the uniform he was wearing, although it was a janitorial uniform, so, hard to tell at this point, and you didn't go and have a close look at what it said on it.
No. I'll just stuff the sketchbook into my bag and steel myself as I walk down the stairs into the hallway.
As you're finally getting there and about to get in the car, you see your mum looking at the time, George waiting, and then, not too late, there's Tyler's car. Tyler, how are you feeling this morning? It's really hot, but at least the sky's a nice colour.
It's not a good morning for me. But I can't let anyone else see that. Sleep was awful in the morning. I spent entirely too much time trying to figure out what outfit to put on, because I have to look as nice as possible. Every single thought I have interrupted by fixation on the what if and the who. So I'm barely on the right side of composed as I pull in the car, and I'm going to make a risky choice to pull in behind the Caldwell car, because my plan is to have Angelica ride with me, and I don't want them to be able to take off when I'm in the street. I'll park, I'll get out, and just immediately hands folded together. I'm so sorry. There was construction near my apartment. I'm so sorry.
Jessica just gives you a bit of a look, but doesn't say anything. What do you say, George?
You're here now. That's what's important. We should get going. We don't want to be late.
Yeah, Angie down yet?
She hasn't come down yet, right?
Probably heading down the stairs as you speak. Tyler, you got here.
Wouldn't miss it.
Well, I would if I could. Let's go, okay? And, Dad, could we go for ice cream afterwards like we used to do?
Sure, I say as I light up and you see me put on a big smile, remembering the good times of going out for ice cream or hot dogs and all those fun things we used to do with the whole family, back when we were happy. We're happy now, sometimes anyway. Yeah, that'd be great. We should do that. It'll be a perfect day.
Yeah, we should. Come on. Kind of push past my parents and grab Tyler's hand as I almost pulling him towards the cars. And I head towards his car.
And you get into Tyler's car, and George, you begin leading the way. And both cars begin the 30-minute drive to the Church of Heavenly Unity. As you come to the Church of Heavenly Unity, you are all familiar with it, even you, Angelica and Tyler, even though you haven't been there before, you know this place. This is no small little town church. This is a stadium. There are car parking spots for at least 1,000 cars. The place is intimidating and gigantic, shining in the sunlight of this day. Deliberately, the building is made with an awful lot of reflective glass. As you drive up and park, the place is completely full. Hundreds of people are coming for the Sunday sermon. After all, this is not just a Sunday event, this is a televised event. Pastor Richard Ward is not a humble town pastor, he is a very known celebrity. His show is extremely popular at this point, especially in Arizona. You begin coming up to the great glass doors that lead into the compound stadium. There are many things inside the stadium, but the only real way of getting in is this big main entrance, and of course some fire exits here and there. As you begin making your way in, security begin taking some precautions. This is a country where guns are fine, but you don't bring the guns to the church. Not on a Sunday anyway, so they do just do a cursory check of knives, weapons. Can't have anyone dangerous getting near the pastor. People have tried in the past. He has to take precautions. So you are all buzzed in and electronically scanned to the best of modern security before entering the beautiful church. The first thing that greets you are, of course, the concession stands. There's a place to get your coffee. There's a place to buy souvenirs. There are many souvenirs. The biggest one at the moment being a lovely t-shirt with Pastor Richard Ward's face on it. He smiles benevolently, extending his arms. The message on the shirt says, "Welcome to God's family." It comes in several different colours. People are busy buying their drinks, buying their coffees, looking over the merchandise. Again, it's a grandiose building. So much glass, so much white. And of course, as you're now inside, approaching the stadium, which is where you'll all be seated shortly, some of your murals, George. Tell us, what have you been painting for Richard Ward lately in this great megachurch?
It's landscape pieces. What the pastor, what he asked for, he wanted a sunny sky, fluffy clouds, angels flying through the sky, blowing on trumpets towards the gates of heaven, haloed by the sun. Truly, this magnificent representation of all the joys and beauties of God and heaven and all those good things that await for us. It is what I have tried to paint as best as I can, and I'm pretty happy with what I was able to achieve. And the pastor said as much. He was very happy with it, and I often get compliments from the congregants about what I've painted. I consider it some of my best work. I'm proud of it.
Truly stunning. And he even let you do those extra little flourishes that so few people would actually notice. But you know there's little details there that only the really keen-eyed will see. You were called out a few times on that before. People said you were putting weird things in paintings. Made you feel pretty bad, didn't it?
They didn't appreciate my art. Didn't appreciate what I was trying to show. What I was trying to say. I felt misunderstood. I sometimes feel that still, but not here, not with the pastor. He understands me, and he's been very supportive. I wouldn't be where I am without him. I think our family, we wouldn't be where we are now if not for the support that the church has given us. This community, it wouldn't be the same without the church. It's a good place.
Angelica, how are you feeling as you enter this place? You've seen it from the outside several times. You've been in once or twice, but again, it's been a few years now. You've managed to avoid coming here, and this place didn't used to be like this. Wow, it really has developed in quite a quick time.
I think I kind of gasped and turned to my father. Dad! These paintings, I think it's your best work ever.
Thank you, Angelica. It means a lot to hear that from you. Yeah, I worked very hard on this. And it seems like people like it. It makes me feel really good. It's nice to be appreciated, you know?
I'm just surprised you chose those colors for a church, but it looks awesome.
Thank you.
And the pastor he enjoys your work?
Oh yeah, he's He's been so supportive. He has really allowed me to flourish as an artist and to really create what I want to create. Of course, with his instructions, but still, I've really been able to put in my soul into this work, and it's work for good. You know, it's helping people get closer to God. And there's no better thing than that, right?
I kind of remember where we are and why we're here, so I kind of slumps back a little bit. Dad, make sure Genesis don't tell him, because, I mean, he's not a part of our family like that.
No, definitely. I'm sure she wouldn't do that to you. I mean, this is a family matter, you know? There's family, there's the church, and then there's family, and sometimes it's all right if not everything is shared with everyone, you know? We will handle this by ourselves. We're a strong family, after all.
Tyler, you're just behind Angelica in the line coming in when suddenly you are stopped. A slightly meaty hand just clasps you on the shoulder. You look and it's one of the security guards. He's wearing this sort of black uniform. Quite smart looking, really. He's a big guy, although he actually looks quite similar in age to you. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, bit of a tooth problem, by the looks of it. And he just says, "Hey, hold up, sir. Sorry, just gotta do a little extra check on you there. Hadn't seen you before here, huh?"
Oh, my urge to be snarky is overpowering, but I know better. I think I would say, well, you know, there's always a first time to find God's light, isn't that right? And try not to sound like a smug prick when I say it, but probably not do a super good job. But I will cooperate with whatever he's about to do, unless it gets, really weird.
No, he just looks at you, he squints, and then smiles a very big smile as he says, "Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Welcome, yes. Sorry, just gotta do a little second check on you was all. Big coat you got there." He begins scanning some sort of metal detector for your coat, finding nothing suspicious. And then he simply says, "Nothing personal, eh?"
No, of course not. Can't be too careful.
He pats you hard on the shoulder, and then lets you go through. What are you thinking as you come into this place, this magnificent football stadium? You can see a bobblehead of Pastor Richard Ward sort of just looking at you from a big stand of them, bobbling every now and then.
You mean this temple to Mammon? This proof that apparently God says you can worship money and God at the same time? This place would have filled me with an intellectual disgust, and the fact that it's tied to everything else only makes it worse. I mean, when we were walking up, there was a moment where I asked Angelica, you sure it's not too late? We can run back to the car, flee to Mexico. And I kind of almost meant it, because just everything about this reeks of uncomfortable. It feels slimy being in here. That makes it hard to pay the amount of attention that I want to the security guard, to the congregation, because the face that said that Jessica or George might read as genuine curiosity or maybe awe is more of a detective looking for anything, some sign, or, God, worst of it, maybe there's something here that will make the man speak up a little bit and point me in the right direction.
He seems silent for the moment, but you do notice Angelica catches your look, and you suddenly find yourselves both just together while you're waiting. Again, there's a lot of people here. It takes time for everyone to be seated. So the two of you are kind of pressed together in this crowd. What do you do?
I will attempt to make a small joke of the situation, because that is how I've normally disarmed her when she's getting a little too close to asking questions that I'm not ready to answer. So as we get pushed together, I'm going to keep my hands, of course, in a respectful place, but our bodies that close, I'll kind of lean past her ear and say, "Isn't this how we got in trouble in the first place?"
Shush, you're in God's house now.
But this is his will, right? Why would he put us this close together? And then I'll kind of let it draw off before someone can hear me being filthy.
You don't think anyone's listening to you, which is good, although something strange then happens to both of you. You see, as you're having this conversation, and then you just look at the crowd around you, you both realize, in an odd, dreamlike fashion, that you're not at the church anymore. You're in a library? You both have a moment to look around yourselves, and you are in a library. A busy library. There's a lot of people coming and going through the library, but you are definitely in a small library.
I start looking at the books. What books are there in the bookshelves?
You focus on this. It's hard to get details. Everything seems a bit blurry. But you will look, Angelica, and you'll see they look medical. Medical books, maybe? There's books on biology, chemistry, sort of doctor practice. It definitely looks like a lot of books about medical things.
I turn towards Tyler with a haunted look on my face and say, "Are you seeing this as well?"
I am seeing this, but this is not one of those cases where I can compartmentalize my two lives, because as Angelica is filled with surprise, Is this somewhere I've been before?
It's not a place you think you've been before, although there is something familiar about it. But it's hard to put a finger on it. Why is it familiar to you? It's like you've been here before, but it's also a different place, or it looks different. Books are in different places, and people are dressed slightly oddly. But again, you can't quite place why that is. You focus on your surroundings and notice that you're very close to Angelica. And then it's almost like you're looking through a piece of glass, as over what you're seeing, you realize that you're actually still standing in a crowd in a church, but you're also here at the same time. It's very difficult to tell this, but you can feel that you are in two places at once somehow.
Am I able to intuit whether we were repelled here? Is this like a situation where the two places are overlapping? Because I know some people dabble. I know I more than dabble. And the question I'm trying to get at is this library laid over the church in a metaphysical way, or have we been taken somewhere else?
You don't think this library is here? No, there's something about the image. It's slightly indistinct, and the dimensions are all wrong. No, you are currently somewhere else, even though you are still where you are. And you realize as well that where you are, the church, you're not moving. Like, everything is almost still there, while here things are moving at almost a normal pace. Angelica, you notice that Tyler doesn't immediately answer you. He just seems to be looking around his surroundings, confused, but then it's almost as if he's noticing something. And then your attention is distracted because someone bumps into you, Angelica. A young man. He bumps into you. Oh, except, no, he doesn't bump into you. No, he bumps into someone standing right next to you. There's a woman right next to you. A youngish woman, maybe 19, 20 years old, 21, maybe 21? He's maybe 22, 23. Again, you can't really tell. And they've just bumped into each other. And this young man sort of says to the young woman, gee, sorry, I didn't see you there. Whoops, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. The woman, oh, it's okay, it's fine. Oh, you've maybe dropped my study stuff. Come on. What do you do?
I reach out a hand and try to take Tyler's hand in a tight grip.
You do so. Tyler, as soon as Angelica grasps your hand, you are fully here again. The church is gone. You are here now.
Dude, this little kerfuffle, we'll call it, next to me. They're close enough, but I have to look, right? Who are these people? Like, I'm trying to find, like, clues to place myself in time or, like, geographically, anything about, like, their dress or their attire that can tell me, like, when or where the fuck I am.
Certainly. And you look at these two people, Tyler, and you know exactly who they are. It's impossible because you don't know them like this. They're not 20-year-olds. You don't know them like that. But you do. Wayne and Eve Walker. Wayne and Eve. It's them. It's definitely them. You don't know how you know this, but you just do. After all, especially with Wayne. Dr. Wayne, because he has that little birthmark on his cheek. A little black spot. It's very distinctive.
Angelica will hear. There's no way I can keep it out. Just like, as I half whisper, it's impossible. And on the one hand, I might be referring to the place, but the way that I'm just staring laser-eyed at the man.
What do you do, Angelica? You hear him say, "That's impossible."
Do I still see this other place?
Yes, you do still see this vision. You look back at the young man and see him helping the young woman pick up her stuff, and she's smiling awkwardly, and he's looking a little embarrassed. And then as you're looking, he looks straight at you, Angelica. And then he looks at Tyler. And he just stares. What do you do?
Testing the hypothesis I had from last night, does Angelica recognize the woman?
Well, you wouldn't be able to notice that immediately. But I will say to Angelica, there is something a bit familiar about this young woman, but you cannot place that at all. Something familiar about her, but you don't know why.
I take a step towards them and say, "Do I know you guys? Have we met before?"
The woman looks around almost in slow motion. It's like she stops and then begins to stutter in and out of focus, like a bit of film reel that's just come off something. And then the man, steps forward. "What the fuck are you doing here? What have you done? Get out! Get out!" Tyler, I'd like you to roll to keep it together.
15?
Tyler, something very strange is going on here, something very weird, but keep your cool. Keep your cool. This is something you know, right? You can control this. You're in control. In fact, you think you're already leaving this place. You can just feel that weird tingle on the back of your neck that whatever this is, you are being forced out of it, which maybe is a good thing. But what do you do?
I have so many questions, and I know that as much as I want them answered, I cannot let Angelica hear it. That's going to lead to questions that I cannot deal with. So I'm going to try to focus myself back in the real physical moment, as real as this is. And the only anchor that I have there is Angelica. So as she's stepping towards this woman, as the man starts screaming, I'm going to pull her closer in the way that, defensive boyfriend might, and say something like, well, just give him some space, babe. And then just hope that those two actions, the physical anchoring and then the actual mental command of, give them some space, trying to invoke, God, whatever slice of occultism I can grab onto to sever us from this.
As this happens, Angelica, you feel Tyler, grasp you close. Both of you feel a bit of a thud. And then a man from behind you is saying, "Hey, come on, look what you're fucking going! I mean, sorry, I shouldn't swear, but come on. Come on."
Sorry, I didn't see you there. What the did just happen, Tyler?
I don't know. Is that a religious experience? That's not a joke that's going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway, because my brain is so... I mean, Angelica, we've been together for a long time-ish. Well, 8 months, whatever. Young love, it goes fast. It is so obvious that I am not, mentally present here, that my brain is racing a million miles somewhere else.
You're both, of course, at this point, back in the crowd of the church. George, you see Tyler and Angelica kind of hug each other, and they look a little disturbed. You're richly right next to them. What do you do?
I see if I can catch their attention. It's not great to be showing a lot of affection here. I feel people might get ideas. Am I able to get their attention?
You certainly are.
Come on, let's just focus. All right?
No, you're right, George. I'm sorry. I just got a bit caught up in the moment, and I'll look over my shoulder. I'm sorry, sir. And then which pew? Is there a family pew?
Oh, we always sit over here, and I begin showing the way to where we normally sit. The the pastor has it's given us special seats, given everything I've done for the church. We have a really good set of seats that gives us a very good overview of the pastor as he's preaching, and of course the painting that I've created.
I mean, as good as this art is, it's the least they could do, right? I will start to flatter George, but also at the same time trying to maneuver so that when we finally do sit in the pew, there are as many bodies as possible between Angelica and Genesis.
Of course, and you begin being ushered in. In fact, a big announcement comes on the tannoy system saying, "All right, everybody, time to get in. Take your seats. Take your seats, everyone. Time to come in. Sermon begins in 10 minutes. Please take your seats." And everyone begins being herded forwards by those black uniformed security guards. Herded like cattle, you could say. But that's fine, everyone wants to be here after all. And just as you're being taken to your seats and sat down, Angelica, you will notice something. Just as you come in through the big doors which lead to the stadium itself, all these chairs surrounding literally a big, massive stage with massive screens, lighting effects, the works, you will see a man from last night. You just spot him, he's right there by the doors, mopping the floor. What do?
I reach for Tyler, grab his hand and kind of hold him back a little bit. Tyler, that man over there, he was outside my house last night.
I'll look over, because of course I will. I certainly don't recognize him, right?
No, but you do see him. A sort of man, big beard, janitor uniform. As you look at him, and Angelica as well, he catches your gaze and kind of looks down and then takes his bucket and quickly moves out of the area.
He was outside your house?
Yeah, here, I'll grab my sketchbook and I turn to the page where I drew him. Look. I did this last night before I went to bed.
Okay, let's, after, right? We'll talk about that.
He was, staring creepily at our house for, 20 minutes or so. It was super weird.
There's a lot about this that is weird.
Please take your seats, everyone. Please take your seats. The announcement rings out, and your conversation is cut short as you are told you need to sit now. And so, the stage lights light up, the TV screens turn on, soft rock music begins to play in the background, nothing too insulting or loud, of course. It seems like the big sermon is about to begin.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the scenario Judgment for KULT Divinity Lost. Judgment was written by Matthew Sanderson and was published as part of the Screams and Whispers scenario collection. This scenario has been sponsored by our friends at Helmgast. The music was made by Atrium Carceri, featuring a number of collaborations with other artists, and was used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Ludwig Manford, Bob Lange, Julián, Cameron, Xabier, and Antxon for their generous support. And we'd of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want early access to our content and to hear raw versions of our recordings right after we've done them, or get your name announced as a champion of the Red Moon, do check out our higher level tiers on Patreon. It's a great way to get more Red Moon role-playing in your life and to help us keep the show going. Thank you again for listening. And remember, death is only the beginning.